The sun shone brightly on a peaceful farm. The sky was a clear, brilliant blue, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. It was one of those perfect days that seemed to promise nothing but joy and tranquility. Birds sang sweetly in the trees, their melodies weaving a beautiful symphony that added to the serene atmosphere. The chirping of the birds was like nature's own music, a harmonious background to the idyllic scene. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves, creating a soft whispering sound that was both calming and soothing. The leaves danced lightly in the wind, casting playful shadows on the ground below. On this beautiful day, an old donkey grazed peacefully in a field. His coat was a bit shaggy, and his movements were slow, but there was a contentment in his eyes. He had seen many seasons come and go, and he knew how to appreciate the simple pleasures of life. He was enjoying his freedom, relishing the taste of the fresh green grass. The field was his sanctuary, a place where he could roam without a care in the world. The donkey felt a deep sense of peace and belonging. Suddenly the ground gave way beneath him. It was as if the earth itself had betrayed him, opening up without warning. The donkey's peaceful day was shattered in an instant. The donkey tumbled down, down, down. The fall seemed to last forever, and he felt a rush of fear and confusion. He had no idea what was happening or where he was going. He landed with a thud. The donkey was trapped. The confined space was dark and cold, a stark contrast to the warm, sunny field above. He felt a sharp pain in his side and realized he was hurt. He was at the bottom of a well. The walls were damp and covered in moss, and the air was thick and musty. The donkey looked up and saw only a small circle of light far above him. The donkey cried out in fear. His braying echoed off the walls of the well, but there was no response. The sound of his own voice only heightened his sense of isolation and despair. No one could hear him. He was all alone. The realization hit him hard, and he felt a wave of panic. He had never felt so isolated and helpless in his life. The walls of the well were steep and high. They seemed to close in on him, making the space feel even smaller. The donkey knew that climbing out was impossible. The walls were too smooth and slippery. There was no way to escape. The donkey felt a sense of hopelessness wash over him. He wondered how long he would be trapped down there, and if anyone would ever find him. The donkey felt despair creeping into his heart. He thought about the peaceful field above, the freedom he had enjoyed just moments before. It all seemed like a distant memory now. But he knew he couldn't give up. Despite the overwhelming odds, the donkey was determined to survive. He had faced challenges before, and he knew that giving up was not an option. He had to keep hoping for a miracle. The donkey looked up at the small circle of light above him and held on to the hope that someone would come to his rescue. He brayed again, louder this time, hoping that his cries would reach someone, anyone, who could help him. The farmer searched high and low for his missing donkey. He had raised this donkey from a young age, and it was not just a working animal to him. It was a companion, a friend. The bond they shared was special, and the thought of losing his donkey filled him with dread. He scoured every corner of his farm, from the barn to the fields, calling out the donkey's name with increasing desperation. Each passing moment without a response made his heart pound harder in his chest. He called out his name, but there was no reply. His voice echoed through the empty fields, a haunting reminder of the silence that followed. The farmer's anxiety grew with each unanswered call. Finally, he reached the well. This old well had been on his land for generations, a silent witness to the many seasons that had come and gone. He had a sinking feeling in his stomach as he approached it. He peered down into the darkness, straining his eyes to see anything in the dim light. The well seemed deeper than he remembered, a dark abyss that swallowed the light. He saw his donkey at the bottom, covered in dirt. The sight broke his heart. The donkey looked up at him with sad, pleading eyes, as if asking for help. The farmer's heart sank, feeling the weight of the situation. He knew the well was very deep. The walls were steep and slippery, making any rescue attempt seem almost impossible. The farmer felt a wave of helplessness wash over him. The farmer tried to think of a way to rescue his donkey. He considered all the tools and resources he had, but nothing seemed adequate for the task at hand. His mind raced with possible solutions, each more desperate than the last. He lowered a rope, but it wasn't strong enough. The rope snapped under the strain, and the farmer's hope shattered along with it. He realized he needed more help. He called for help from his neighbors, but the well was too narrow. Despite their best efforts, they couldn't reach the donkey. The farmer watched as his friends and neighbors tried and failed, their frustration mirroring his own. They couldn't reach the donkey. The farmer felt helpless. He had always been the one to solve problems on his farm, but this time he was at a loss. The feeling of powerlessness was overwhelming. He didn't know what to do. Sitting down near the well, he buried his face in his hands, trying to hold back tears. The weight of the situation pressed down on him, and for the first time in a long while he felt truly defeated. The farmer's despair was palpable, a heavy cloud that hung over him as he sat there, lost in thought. The villagers gathered around the well. They offered suggestions and words of comfort, but nothing seemed possible. The donkey was too far down. The well was too dangerous. The farmer paced back and forth, his brow furrowed in thought. He knew he couldn't leave his donkey to die, but what choice did he have? The farmer made a difficult decision. It was a decision that broke his heart, but he believed it was the kindest option. He told his neighbors to help him fill the well. The villagers were shocked. Bury the donkey alive? It seemed cruel, but the farmer insisted it was the only way. The villagers reluctantly agreed. They began to shovel dirt into the well. Down and down fell the dirt. It landed on the donkey's back. The donkey felt the weight of the dirt. He knew what was happening. They were giving up on him. He closed his eyes and waited for the end. But then something amazing happened. The donkey felt a surge of hope. He realized he could use the dirt to his advantage. Section 5. Rising above, the donkey shook his body. The dirt fell off his back. It landed beneath his hooves. He stepped on top of the dirt. He was a little bit higher. The donkey realized what he had to do. With each shovelful of dirt, he shook and stepped, shake and step, shake and step. He was slowly but surely rising above his predicament. The villagers continued to shovel dirt into the well. They didn't realize what the donkey was doing. They thought they were ending his suffering, but they were actually helping him escape. Section 6. Freedom's Call. The donkey kept shaking and stepping. He was determined to survive. His heart pounded with each movement. His legs ached with exhaustion, but he refused to give up. He could see the sunlight at the top of the well. He could smell the fresh air. He could hear the birds singing. Freedom was so close. With one final mighty effort, the donkey leapt out of the well. He landed on solid ground with a triumphant cry. He was free! Section 7. A second chance. The villagers gasped in astonishment. They couldn't believe their eyes. The donkey was alive. They had witnessed a miracle. The farmer rushed over to his donkey. He embraced him tightly. He apologized for giving up on him. The donkey nuzzled his owner gently. He had forgiven him. The donkey had been given a second chance at life. He had overcome a seemingly impossible obstacle, and he had done it by never giving up hope. Section 8. The importance of self-belief. The donkey's story teaches us that we should never give up on ourselves. Even when others doubt us, we must believe in our own strength. The farmer and the villagers had given up on the donkey, but the donkey never gave up on himself. He knew he had the power to overcome his situation, and he did. When we believe in ourselves, we unlock our true potential. We become capable of achieving great things. Just like the donkey, we can rise above any challenge that life throws our way. Section 9. The Power of Resilience. Resilience is a trait that can transform our lives in the most profound ways. It is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to rise after falling, and to keep moving forward despite the obstacles that stand in our way. The donkey story is a powerful reminder that resilience is key to overcoming adversity. This seemingly simple tale carries a deep and meaningful lesson about the strength of the human spirit. Life is full of ups and downs. We experience moments of joy and sorrow, success and failure, hope and despair. These fluctuations are a natural part of the human experience. We will all face challenges and setbacks. These moments can be daunting and overwhelming, testing our resolve and pushing us to our limits. But it is in these moments that our true character is revealed. But it is how we respond to these challenges that defines us. Our reactions to adversity shape our future and determine the path we will take. Will we succumb to the pressure, or will we rise above it? The donkey could have easily given up when he fell into the well. It seemed like an insurmountable situation, a hopeless predicament with no way out. But instead, he chose to be resilient. He refused to let the circumstances dictate his fate. He made a conscious decision to fight for his survival. He used the dirt, which was meant to bury him, as a stepping stone to freedom. With each shovelful of dirt that was thrown into the well, he shook it off and stepped up, gradually rising higher and higher until he was able to climb out. When we face challenges, we must remember the donkey's story. It teaches us that no matter how dire the situation may seem, there is always a way to overcome it if we remain resilient and resourceful. We must dig deep within ourselves and find the strength to carry on. This inner strength is what will sustain us through the toughest times and help us emerge stronger on the other side. We must never give up hope. Hope is the light that guides us through the darkness, the beacon that keeps us moving forward even when the path is unclear. We must always believe in ourselves. Self-belief is the foundation of resilience. It is the confidence that we have the ability to overcome any challenge, no matter how difficult it may be. And we must always remember that we have the power to overcome any obstacle that life throws our way. Our resilience is our greatest strength, and it is what will carry us through the trials and tribulations of life, leading us to triumph and success. Resilience is not just about surviving, it is about thriving. It is about using our experiences, both good and bad, to grow and become better versions of ourselves. It is about turning our struggles into stepping stones and our pain into power. By embracing resilience, we can inspire others to do the same. Our stories of perseverance can serve as a beacon of hope for those who are struggling, showing them that it is possible to overcome even the most daunting challenges. Together, we can build a resilient community, one that supports and uplifts each other in times of need. By fostering a culture of resilience, we can create a world where everyone has the strength and support to overcome adversity. So let us all strive to be resilient. Let us face our challenges with courage and determination, knowing that we have the power within us to overcome anything. And let us remember that, like the donkey, we can use the very things that were meant to bury us as stepping stones to our freedom and success.